All right, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy B Phil. We back again. Looks like my recording stopped unfortunately, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give you all the quick recap. We went up to the daily time frame on gold. We saw it was above the 8 EMA. Looks like it wants to continue up, but then we went down to the 4 hour and we said, okay, maybe it's time to cool off just a tad bit here, right? Just a tad. Then we dropped down to the hour and we said, oh, looks like there's some slight curvature here, but we closed below the 8 EMA. So we want to see potentially coming into this 5 hour zone or 5 minute zone. And we did a nice little paper trade here. Paper, and it looks like it's going against us. So, moral of the story is, looks like we might be potentially a little bit too aggressive on gold. All right, so that was that. Then we looked at Bitcoin and we went up, of course, and we saw that we had a potential zone that we want to see Bitcoin push into before we start looking for trades to the upside, because currently we are definitely bullish. And we just left it at that. We want to go ahead and just be patient on this particular call and just wait it out here. Next, we go to the NASDAQ, and we already had some ideas here. It looks like it did play out how we did expect it. It was on the daily. We saw it was below the 8 EMA yesterday. It closed below, and it continued down to run this particular low. So, yeah, we didn't see... I'm not seeing any entries here, actually. Yeah, I'm not seeing any entries, but it did run, and it did run that low, and it looks like it's coming down into the zone that we want to see it come down into. And from there, we can start looking for potential trade setups to continue higher, because that's a lower structural point, the lowest of the structural points. We can go ahead and remove this one and this one. These were just for show. And of course, we wanted to just have some idea of where it bounced from on this next candle. So we're starting to come down into this particular zone. Yeah, we're just gonna wait. And it looks like right now we're quite bottomed out, right? We're below 60, and looks like we can continue just to come down a little bit more, maybe negative 75 or even 80 into this particular zone. And then maybe we get a little pullback up. So just to draw this out for y'all real quick, you know, we come down here and then we get a little pullback up, and maybe we come back down one more time, boom, bam, to the races, right? And then hopefully we see a nice little bullish divergence there, and we can just take that buy and continue on. Let's see what gold's doing. Did it completely obliterate us? It did. Paper trade is just about stopped out here. And if we're looking here on the 1 minute time frame, this short scalp is actually a failed short scalp. It closed, but it looks like we're coming back above, and maybe we needed to wait just a tidbit longer. And it looks like we might be getting a bullish divergence here, or excuse me, bearish divergence here, where we could potentially re-enter, but we had a failed paper trade there. Very risky. All right, Euro, let's go ahead and check this out. Yeah, so on the Euro, we have price above the 8 EMA here. And we drop down to the 15. We have the daily here. Yeah, it looks like we may be getting some potential moves. I don't really like this, though. This looks like it's just bearish on this 15 minute. If we're looking at the actual structure, we had a break up above here, but then we had a break below this last structural point, or intermediate structural point. So I don't really like this in particular. I would still think we continue down to lower prices here. So I'm just going to, let's see here. We tapped into that, so we want to go ahead and remove that. Let's go up to the 1 hour really quickly. Yeah, 1 hour below the 80 EMA here. Maybe we can take a 1 minute down, potentially. right? We have 1 hour here, and maybe we go ahead and look here and we see that, yeah, I mean, we had this large move down from here. It looks like we might be coming back up to retest. So maybe there's a sell stop off of this particular price action to continue down to lower prices. Now, if we're looking at zones here, at this large move down and we finally broke above all the way over here, we could argue that we had some wicks down here. It doesn't really look super clean though. So the structural point that we'd be looking at that's currently validated, we have that break right there, finally all the way over here. And then we can look for unmitigated zones inside of this structural box or MB. So we just look to the right. We don't have anything that looks particularly clean. It looks like a lot of stuff has came back and tapped into a lot of these areas. We had this move down. There's a little wick. Finally broke above. I mean, maybe you could argue that we had this break here and it never came back. So you could have this little ass area here to look for price to come back down into before ultimately going higher here. So we could use that. And we'll keep it at that. We'll go ahead and put an alert there and just use patience as our filter. All right. Well, that's all the pairs I'm gonna go ahead and look at today. This one's gonna be a little bit more short in favor of just being a bit more patient at this particular point and not crazy scalping. You see here, look like price actually continued to shoot up like a crack addict, which is, you know, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. So, hope you learned something. Go ahead, hit that like button, comment, let me know what you thought. And of course, keep on trading, documenting what you're doing so you can continue to get better. Have a wonderful week. Peace.